All right, guys, welcome to an unscripted podcast. These are going to be formatted a little differently than my scripted ones. Essentially, I'm going to utilize the time I spend driving to different places to talk about topics that I really enjoy, or things that I've read recently, or watched recently, or interacted with recently, to sort of record my thoughts and, just a place to open mic talk about things. I don't have a lot of time to do that in different spaces, but I got to thinking about it. Every time I drive several times a week, 10 or 15 minutes trips going here and there, I've got lots of time. So if you hear road noise in the background or like blinker noises or honks or beeps, just ignore it. We're just going to try and see how this works and go from there. So I had an idea for a topic. So I was watching Totally Not Mark's recent upload, and it's about Luffy from the One Piece series. And as I was watching it, the intro really stood out to me. And I really like Mark's channel. Whatever he puts out, I usually try to give it a like and a follow, just because I think that he makes really high quality content about the anatomy of story and character development and how to write different things. And he does it through a fascinating lens of like reviewing mangas and animes. And I have learned a lot about characters. I've learned a lot about story structure. I've read several books that he has recommended on his channel. And some of you may know that one of my mantras is try to learn something new every day. And I've picked up quite a bit from on my own writing skills, thanks to Mark's channel, and the way he packages the material makes it where I really enjoy learning about it. But he's starting this new series, and he starts with Luffy. It's another Anatomy of Story series, and he's talking about how Luffy is designed as a character and how he functions. It's a really good video. I recommend you go watch it. But the interesting thing that really stuck out to me was the intro. And in the intro, he makes a comment about how a lot of times whenever he's talking on Twitter or he's messing around on social media or when he's posting his videos, inevitably somebody's going to make a comment that it's not that deep, bro. That's literally what he quotes. And his response to this is that it is that deep. Just because you consume media in a certain way that, reflects, you consume it at a surface level, there's nothing wrong with that, but there's nothing wrong with looking for depth as well and growing deeper in your fandom and your understanding and your knowledge of a character or a story or how it's put together. And as he was talking about it, it just reminded me of an illustration that I came across several years ago that was not about that, but it's about education in general, because to me education is about a wide variety of topics is important. And I am a teacher. I really think that one of the undervalued aspects of education is its ability to provide depth to your understanding of something for the purpose of increasing your enjoyment of it. And what I mean by that is that the better I understand the function of something that I'm enjoying, the more capacity I have to enjoy it. That's not to say that somebody that doesn't understand the anatomy of story can't enjoy a movie. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that I can enjoy it more in some ways because I do. So I'm going to give an example. I want you to think about being in being in a theater listening to an orchestra. And there are several people there at the theater and listening to the music with you. And, you're there and you're like me. I have sort of a surface level knowledge of music. I played an instrument in high school. I listen to a lot of music. I enjoy a wide variety of songs and tunes. And I have a strong ability to appreciate music. And so I'm listening to the orchestra and I'm getting a lot out of it. Like, I'm just really enjoying it. But sitting next to me is a music student, somebody who's going to school and learning about music. They're learning about the ins and outs of the way the music is played, or they play a particular instrument that may be in that orchestra, and maybe they've played that song before, and they can admire the professionalism of the artist who's playing that particular instrument, and they are able to recognize the minute details that are involved in performing that piece of music, or maybe they know the history of that particular piece, and like the struggle of the artist who created that piece of music. And it's not that I'm not having a good time, it's not that they're not having a good time, but their ability to understand and appreciate the music is greater than mine. Just, there's no question about it. Both of us can enjoy it, but their ability to interact with it is so much greater than mine. And you could go further and extend it further. You could say that sitting next to them is a master maestro who has conducted their own orchestras, plays every instrument imaginable, and just has a master's level of understanding of what's going on. And his ability to appreciate the orchestra's work is even greater than the music students. And so you have these different levels where, everybody can enjoy music. Music is something that's easy for everyone to listen to. But the more you understand about music, the greater your capacity to interact with it, and that greater capacity allows you to read deeper into it. And so what I really have enjoyed the most about learning more about storytelling from Mark, and from the resources that I've read, and just from writing and playing with my own stories, is that it has increased my ability to appreciate the art of telling a story. It's grown my own ability to tell a story. But again, in addition to that, it has just appreciated my ability to understand the artist's work. And I think that when people talk about how it's not that deep, bro, and I agree with Mark, if you want to digest and entertain with that media on that level, there is nothing wrong with it. You can enjoy the fights, you can enjoy the colorful choreography, you can enjoy the jokes or whatever. But if you can dig deeper and get even more out of it, why wouldn't you want to? And to me, education in general is the key to that, is that, I can grow a better understanding of not just art, but science. And by growing a better understanding of science, I can gain more appreciation for the beauty of the universe around me. I think education unlocks a greater appreciation in a lot of ways for the world that we interact with. It can bring a certain level of sadness as well if, you are more aware of the problems going on in the world. But I've never found it to be a negative trait. I've always found that the more I learn about a topic, the more I get to increase the joy of interacting with it. So my hat is off to Mark and his endeavors to educate, because to me, I feel like Mark, when I go to listen to Mark's videos, I go to be educated about something. Like, I may not even be a fan of the particular material he's reviewing. I may not have even ever read it before, but whenever I go into a Totally Not Mark video, I'm not watching it to, satiate the entertainment for that particular manga. I'm going into it to thinking, what am I going to learn about the media of storytelling today? I'll give you another example of a channel that I really like that does something very similar to this. It's called Implicitly Pretentious. And I really like it because he uses a very similar trick. He looks at comic books and animated media to shed light on psychology. And I've learned a lot about psychology from watching his channel. And I just think that the idea of packaging something so compelling, such as storytelling, the art of storytelling, and the art of psychology, not the art of psychology, but the science of psychology, into something entertaining is just, it's the teacher's dream, right? I just think that they've really got something special going on there. And I know I'm a tiny YouTube channel compared to both of those channels, but if you are watching this and you've never heard of those two channels, I totally recommend you go and checking them out. They have a large catalog of videos, and they're pretty entertaining to watch. But also they just, provide a sort of education in those topics. And so I just think that, the argument that can be made that yes, you can absolutely enjoy something at face value and just pick it up skimming it off the surface. But if you learn to swim, that's probably the best illustration I can give to it, is that anybody can get in the shallow end of the pool and have a good time. But when you learn to swim, your capacity to enjoy the length, the depth, the breadth of the pool opens up. If you learn to swim well, then you can go to larger pools. I just think that with a greater appreciation for storytelling, you increase your ability to enjoy the media that you're digesting. I just wanted to finish up by mentioning that if you have a topic that you'd like to see discussed, like a video or like a book or some other form of media that you'd like to get my thoughts on, I may not be able to answer everybody's, of course, because I don't have time to read everything, and I have some things I probably won't even know what they are. But if it's something that interests me, I'd take it as a suggestion for content. I'd like to hear what y'all think about Totally Not Mark. If y'all go give his channel a check out. Or also Implicitly Pretentious. It's another channel that I really like to watch, that I feel like is that sort of edutainment in like a very positive, powerful way. But if you like this sort of unscripted format of me just riding in a car talking about random things, then by all means, I'd like for you to let me know. I hope that you have a wonderful day.